Hello everybody, this is Tim here again, another video, this time for another reaction video, this time to the teaser trailer for Beetlejuice 2. Now, Beetlejuice is like one of my favorite Tim Burton films easily, like along with Edward Scissorhands. In terms of the ones he's directed, not count like Nightmare Before Christmas, because even though that's pretty much like 50% his film at least, just counting the films that he has directed, like Edward Scissorhands and Beetlejuice and like Batman, and even Pee-wee's Big Adventure, like those are my favorite Tim Burton movies. But Beetlejuice is right up there. It's like number 2. It would probably be like number 2, like next to like Edward Scissorhands. But yeah, I love the original Beetlejuice. It is a classic. Most people love the original Beetlejuice, especially those that grew up with it. And a sequel has been like on and off for decades. Tim Burton has been trying to get it made. They had an idea like Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian, which would have been more in tune with like the Beetlejuice animated series that they had, which was more for kids. The movie had more of a adult feel to it, where it was for like slightly older kids and adults could both enjoy. But finally, Tim Burton found a script that he liked, and finally they got to work on the sequel, and here we are. Now, as far as the teaser trailer goes, I thought it was great. The purpose of a teaser is just to tease you. It's not to like really give you any details or ideas about the plot. A teaser is specifically there just to tease you, to let you know that what you love is back, and it's back the way it, you remember it, and it's working the same way, just to get you hyped. And when the real trailer comes out, or the full trailer, I mean, you will get an idea about where the movie's actually going, and maybe what the more of the tone and stuff is going to be, to get more of a full idea about what you're in store for. In terms of this teaser, it's got the Sidale, or whatever, Banana Boat, whatever the name of it was, song playing that was in the original, except it's done much more creepy here for the trailer and everything. And overall, this trailer gives off a darker vibe than the original Beetlejuice. Like, this has more of a somber, darker vibe to it, and you see in the trailer that apparently the father has died, and according to like plot details, this is why the family like comes back to this town. Apparently they have been, or Lydia at least, and has been living somewhere else, I suppose, and she's come back to the same town because her father died. You don't get Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin in this, of course, and I know some people say, well, it's because Ghost age, but really it's because of the Alec Baldwin controversy. They could have written them back in here if they wanted. But at the same time, I don't really think you need them. Their story was complete in that first movie. Maybe for a cameo, it would be fine. But their story was really complete in that first movie, and you really just don't need them again for another story. Like, this franchise, if it is to be a franchise and to evolve and to have a sequel, really all you need is Lydia and Beetlejuice to really have a sequel. You could have just done this in a totally different place, maybe even a city or something, and just had Lydia like have to call on Beetlejuice for another reason. You didn't really even have to go back to the same town. But for the purposes of the story they're telling with the father dying and everything, and of course they have to write out Jeffrey Jones because of, well, he's a pedophile in real life, so it probably wouldn't have been good to have him in the movie. So for the purpose of having to write him out, it makes sense for why they would go back to the same town and all that. And some details about the movie, sorry, I'm moving my camera on my phone here, but some details about the movie or whatever that's been released, it's something about like Jenna Ortega, who's playing the character Astrid, who is Lydia's daughter. She does something that causes some kind of malfunction or something like that in the afterlife that also affects the real world. And if Beetlejuice shows up, I'm guessing Lydia maybe calls on Beetlejuice for help. I don't think Beetlejuice is going to be a villain in this. In the original one, he was a villain specifically just because he wanted to escape the afterlife, his afterlife prison that he was trapped in for whatever reason. He just wanted to escape that, so it just made him a villain by default. Here, they're probably going to try to make Beetlejuice an anti-hero. They'll probably have him show up and be a little menacing or whatever, but overall, they're going to probably make it to where he's an anti-hero, and there'll probably be a different villain, or a different main villain eventually in the movie. And that's fine. I mean, he's the face of the franchise now at this point. He was a huge player in the cartoon show, and he's in all the shirts and everything now, and everything's been merchandised off that first movie. It wouldn't make sense to have him just be like the villain again after that first movie. It wouldn't really make sense. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it. Jenna Ortega in the movie, some people are talking about how she's going to be typecast or whatever. She's only played like a gothic type character in one other thing, and that was in Wednesday. That is it. And Tim Burton always reuses the same actors and stuff like that for his project. So he used her in Wednesday. He's using her here. I'm fine with that. I like Jenna Ortega. I think she's a good actor. Not every movie she's in is great. There's some shitty ones she's been in. But overall, I'm fine with it. No problem with it whatsoever. Winona Ryder looks good. I like that they kept her in, like, she has like the same hairdo all these years later in the same style of dress. That's pretty funny. Catherine O'Hara's back as the mom. She looked good in the trailer. No problem with her. She didn't really get much with her, but when she was there, she looks good. I'm sure she'll be fine in the movie. Michael Keaton, when he shows up as Beetlejuice at the end of the trailer, coming up out of like the model thing that Alec Baldwin built in the first movie, where he's like, "The juice is loose." He hasn't lost a step. Keaton still is doing great. You can definitely tell he's older, but at the same time, with all that makeup on and everything, he still looks really good. And his voice is still perfect, still completely Beetlejuice, and obviously he's going to be the highlight of the film. William Dafoe is also supposed to be in this, playing a ghost cop. And you got another guy who's supposed to be in this. I forgot the actor's name, but I think he might be like Lydia's daughter's love interest, maybe, or something. I'm not for sure who he's going to be, but there was a leaked pic of it with Michael Keaton like sticking him in the neck with a syringe that had truth serum written on it or something. Maybe we'll find out that he like killed Jeffrey Jones's character or something. Maybe he killed Lydia's father. Maybe he's trying to, like, I don't know, inherit some money or something. Who knows? Overall, I thought it was a great teaser. For a teaser, it was great. It's definitely got the right mood and atmosphere for a Burton project. Once again, though, it does feel darker than the first movie, at least in terms of that. This teaser trailer, it does feel darker, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of like over-the-top fun, like Burton moments or whatever. And by the end, Jenna Ortega's character may float up in the air or dance or something. There's going to be some nostalgia in it because it takes place in the same town and all that. And of course, you see scenes from the trailer that the town hasn't changed at all. And that makes sense. It's like Burton doing a commentary on like middle America or whatever, and how they always like stay trapped in time. I get it. And so that makes sense. That doesn't really bother me. As long as the plot itself is different, I don't mind having like one or two like same old things in the small town or whatever, like the bridge where the Maitland characters died on in the first movie. That doesn't bother me. But overall, yeah, as far as the teaser goes, it looks great. Just as a teaser, there's not much here to really go on about to discuss. So does it do its job to get fans hyped? Yeah. When it comes to the full trailer, that's when I'll get a chance to decide. That'll be a chance to figure out how I really feel more about the movie, because that'll be when they'll try to share more of the plot and everything. But so far, looks good. And supposedly Burton said there's no CGI in the film. I appreciate it. He's trying to make it as close in tone and in tune with that first movie by going back probably to his stop motion effects and all that kind of stuff. And I appreciate that. I like that. Overall, yeah, great teaser. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again.